When creating a new product, it's often necessary to pivot from your initial idea in response to market needs and feedback and tweak your offering to achieve success in a new area. BioPharma Trend Analytics are a great example of a Catalyst Grant winner that has done just that. Here's Andrii to tell us about their story.
My name is Andrii Buvailo, and I'm a scientist by my background. So I completed my PhD actually in Ukraine back probably 10 years ago or even more. And then I spent some time, in the United States as a joint program in supercapacitor and sensors. And then life changed, so I decided that probably academic work is not for me for a number of reasons, and I switched to business areas. And basically, my first job was at a startup actually. So with that, I obtained some experience and probably motivation, most importantly, to go like in a startup way. But then I had also experience working for a large company, and then again I decided that probably I need to switch to startups. So and that's how we ended up starting a blog BioPharmaTrend.com back in 2016. It was focused primarily on the certain trends in the pharmaceutical industry, in what might be interesting to mostly venture capitalists. So we try to cover, intersection of technology and biology, this sort of deep tech trendy stuff. And then we got some traction basically. So companies of different sizes, even pretty big companies, started to kind of reference our blog unexpectedly for me. So they kind of started enjoying what we were writing at the time. And several years fast forward several years into the future, we decided, okay, why not start a consultant business out of it, and maybe offer some market research insights for these companies that are referencing our work. And that's how it all started. And then back in 2019, we basically met with the Catalyst Grant opportunity, and we applied. So,
can you tell me what BPT Analytics is?
So essentially, since my role in the companies was in the contract research environment, so to speak, so I was very much into the analyzing industry, analyzing the trends and stuff like that. And as all large companies do, they typically buy reports from all these consulting companies, this large PDF kind of reports about the industry. And what I learned really quickly, that these reports, they are expensive, but they get outdated literally in half a year or maybe even sooner, because let's say in the artificial intelligence space, things are progressing on the monthly basis, even weekly basis. So we decided, okay, why not make something that is interactive and updated in kind of regular manner automatically by some systems that would be parsing data, parsing websites, and then analyzing all the data and presenting to the clients. And then we would be selling these reports on the subscription basis. So we decided to create a software as a service, kind of service for the pharmaceutical industry, and then we were planning to expand it into probably healthcare, some adjacent areas. And that's how we launched our Catalyst Grant idea. That was the alpha version, very early alpha version of the software that the user can actually access, and then let's say read some predefined editorial report, our kind of view of the things. But then if the user wants to go deeper with some research of their own, they can basically do that. So it was the database access, some analytics platform, and some visualization platform. That's how it started.
How does your idea utilize AI?
So again, when we came to the Catalyst Grant, it was alpha version early, and basically a lot of stuff was done manually. So at that point, we were just starting playing with NLP, all that stuff, because obviously we needed some use case, a case study, so to speak, on this narrow sector, let's say AI drug discovery at the time. And we basically collected all the data in regular way using some parser engines, etc. But then we realized quickly that, okay, we need scale. And then we, of course, we tried to employ NLP for things like entity recognition, structured data in an automatic way out of unstructured text. So let's say there are some press releases, and then you want some companies from that press releases, what they did, some people behind the discovery, and these are the type of things that NLP can do very well, and basically machine learning models can be trained to process that kind of data. And then the final stage is to just show that data to the user in a way that would be suitable for them, valuable, because data is just data. But then again, you need to present some use case for what the user can get from that data, some insights, some graphs, diagrams, etc. So NLP is primarily for essentially creating the structured data in our case.
What makes the Catalyst grant different from other funding opportunities?
Well, it was two things, I guess. The first one is a bit of financial boost. It's never it's never a bad idea. And then it was some confidence boost, and actually three things, because the third thing was important was the consultation with the guy who was leading our case, and was very, very informative. And we would talk every week, I guess, or a week or every 2 weeks. We had a meeting where he would check the progress, kind of where things are going. And it was absolutely no push from the organization. It was just, okay, how are you guys doing, and what kind of stuff, maybe I can advise you on this, or this. So it was very helpful, actually. So that's the three things.
How has BPT Analytics progressed since winning a Catalyst grant?
So I have to say that we haven't become a venture capital story, because when we actually finalized our alpha version, we realized since we're IT guys with pharmaceutical background, so we were mostly about creating this layer of software that is facing the customer. But then again, we realized that it takes so much more in terms of collecting data. The bottleneck for us was the collecting data at scale. That proved to be very expensive. And the second thing that we realized at the stage where we would probably need to raise some money is that having this infrastructure for a large-scale NLP project is way too expensive. So at some point we actually decided to pivot into a consultant business. So that's our story. So essentially, when the grant ended, there was essentially a discussion with the organization, and the idea was, okay, can we show some probably traction with the industry? Do we need some more time to finalize the software, or maybe we just proceed on our own and just do stuff? So we decided that at that point we would proceed on our own, because again, there was the choice between raising, let's say, $1 million or £2 million to actually do all these layers of data generation at scale, NLP at scale. All that's very costly. We didn't have that resources at that moment, and so we decided, okay, we have something that is already working. We actually have sales on our software, even in this version that we had at the time. And we decided, okay, why don't we use it for some limited sales and then use it for our consulting projects? And then we would go into some kind of hybrid model where we would consult companies on the strategic matters, on the market research, but don't go full-scale software as a service business, because it's a different level, and it's a different level in terms of commitment. So we decided, okay, for that point in time, we were not ready to do that kind of commitment. and we decided we would go consult. And then it very quickly actually evolved into a media business, because consultant, we were trying to advertise our consultant services based on the content marketing strategy. So we would write some articles about market trends, about interesting discoveries. And then again, suddenly we discovered that probably media business is generating more revenue for us than actual consultant business at that point in time. And so we started shifting to this media business model, where we would use the knowledge that our system generates, and then we would give to things. First, very high quality content based on that knowledge. It wasn't just journalistic approach, when you just report news, because it's actually quite easy to report news. So we are living in the overflood of news from every corner. But when you can provide some really deep and unique insight that is not possible to be found on the internet, that's another story. Let's say even now we have ChatGPT, all this kind of stuff where people can ask questions, let's say, and get some information for free, essentially. But then again, not always you know what kind of questions to ask. And so still this kind of consultant proves very useful for our users, as we see, because we present our view, we present our editorial perspective on the things, and then people can ask deeper questions based on case by case basis. So that's how it works.
What advice would you give somebody thinking of applying for the Catalyst grant?
Well, first of all, it's a tremendous opportunity, because not just because money, but actually money is not even the main point, I would say, but the main point is actual consultant, because again, it was our choice not to go the venture capital story. Okay, but if there is a grantee who is ambitious enough to go that way, to actually raise money, millions, to build some big stuff, then digital science is a perfect opportunity, because they already have portfolio of digital products and companies, and actually they can provide connections. That was very, very valuable. So I would say certainly apply for the grant, because it's much more than just money. Money is just a small part of this value proposition. The mentorship and these kind of connections in this specific area, like digital science, it's very, very good opportunity to open some doors if you are ambitious enough to actually build large-scale stuff.
Andrii has shared a great example of how an idea can evolve with the support of the Catalyst grant. If you're interested in developing an idea that could help the research community, and you think the Catalyst grant could provide you with the support you need, find out more on our website.